Now then, and welcome to Rimworld. Episode 0 today. It is going to be testing through a few bits and pieces, just showing you the setup for a Rimworld mod pack based around the Walking Dead TV series. There's been a few mods that came out in the Alpha 17. This is the Alpha 17 Rimworld, and the Alpha 17 mods have come out, especially the one that attracted my attention to it first and foremost, Zombie Apocalypse. Oh yes, Zombie Apocalypse. What happens with the Zombie Apocalypse is that it's pretty much the same as the Walking Dead. A faction starts attacking that is zombies. If they bite you or scratch you or infect you in some way, then you slowly die and turn into a zombie. So, could be lots of fun. Also, all the other factions are still out to get you, but the zombie factions are out to get you as well, which is the Zombie Apocalypse side of things, The Walking Dead. Other mods that I've been testing out and practicing with. Now, some of you may or may not know the list of mods here. You may or may not know. I can have a little glance through while I'm chatting. You may or may not know that I have been doing a Rimworld campaign, as it were, very badly, I might add. I have been doing very badly at Rimworld over on my Supporters Club channel. Well, with this being a mod pack, a modded version of Rimworld, hopefully some of the things that are the hardest for me are made easier, some of the things that are annoying me are fixed, and some cool new things are added that we can explore together and figure out how it all works and how it's going to turn out into a good series. Please leave your comments, any likes down below on this episode. There will be some kind of link on the screen for now and for the rest of this episode, where you can go straight to episode 1 if you're bored of listening to me talk about all the setup that I've gone through to create the mod pack itself and where we're going, who we're creating as characters for the story, and what's the idea and all that. If you're into all that, then stay with me right now and I'll go through the list of mods first. There is a secondary mod that is basically a library mod that shares its functionality with other mods, and a few other mods need this to be in the higher order of the mods list. So there's nothing to say about it other than some mods need it to work properly, and it needs to be high up in the mods list so it loads them in the order they're in the list. Everything else on the list, I haven't really found a reason why they shouldn't be in any particular order. They're just in the order that I added them, so there's no particular need for them to be in this order. And they're kind of random as well, in no particular order. Starting at the top, allow dead man's apparel. It just adds this extra thing in storage locations to allow dead man's apparel. I find that that's an annoying little feature that this mod corrects, so I've now got that sorted out for workbenches. For stockpiles and workbenches. Right? Mass graves is another one. I get infuriated that I have graves set out for my characters, my colonists, and I kill a load of bad guys and I can't just dump their bodies somewhere. I end up needing to make graves for them, or they rot and the animals eat them, and I've even had people trying to eat the corpses of the enemies because they're so hungry. I just want a mass grave to throw all the bodies in. All the depositing raider corpses, just getting rid of them quickly. That's what I want, mass graves. Everybody hauls. Now, there is a few backstories that disable the ability to haul items. Hauling disabled. No. Everybody is able to pick stuff up and move it around. This is the apocalypse. The zombies are coming. Pick up everything. Everybody must have some use. So everybody hauls in this mod pack. Hardworking animals. I quite like having the animals help out. Right? Carrying and fetching, carrying stuff. They're pretty good. I don't use them all too often, but I thought I'd throw in this hard-working animals mod just to see if I can encourage it a little bit more and make them serve as a real workforce for me, so I can get some large animal slaves, I suppose. Animal workers, anyway. Path Avoid, another really annoying feature. I say feature. A really annoying part of the pawn's AI. Each of my characters is called a pawn, and their AI pathing is very bad sometimes. I can have a series of traps and things set up for the raiders to fall into. And the construction of those traps takes a while. And then when the guy who constructed those traps and knows where they all are goes and walks back through all those traps and kills himself, I'm pretty annoyed that he didn't remember where he put the traps. So things like that is a path avoid. So it's simply just making them put into their mind which way to walk, when areas of which way to walk and which way not to walk. So the not to walk is probably the most useful. The preferred way to walk is okay, but the not to walk is the most useful, right? Simple sidearms. Because this is the zombie apocalypse, everyone gathers more weapons, more guns. And this is giving the inventory a little bit of a boost. Instead of the pawns only having one weapon and one weapon only, they can now have even more weapons. Because they can then draw a sword when they're getting into melee, or draw a knife or a pistol or whatever. They're going to have multiple weapons available to them, which is the idea of the sidearms mod. They're going to have guns and melee all on the same character, which is ideal. Some extra drinks. This is coffee and tea and some alcoholic beverages, I believe. Maybe some other bits and pieces, so some fermenting and stuff going on. There's sodas, alcohol and other drinks. And of course, in the zombie apocalypse, all the drinks that have been left over in various places are still available. So that's what we're going to get on this one. Synth meat. As all the zombie flesh is rotting away, growing meat. It's kind of like a soy substitute, no doubt. But it's called synth meat. Grow your own space tofu. A genetically engineered plant that produces synth meat. I'll be trying that out as well now I've got that mod installed. Windows. I mean, really, the game doesn't have windows in it. You have brick walls and wooden walls all around, but you never get windows. Just simply a window to let in some light. It allows sunlight to pass through the walls. Windows can provide enough sunlight to grow crops as well, so I can grow crops behind a wall, which is, under cover and behind a wall, which is great. Plant cutting for growers is just a simple mod, just a really simple mod. The relevant skill for cutting plants is growing, right? So it makes the cutting efficiency of plants for growers better. People with a growing skill can cut plants a lot better, which is just a simple added thing. Also, cooks can refuel their own fuel sources. Like, it's always bugged me that the cook is assigned with cooking only, no hauling, no fetching and carrying, but the cook cannot refill their own workstation. They just stop because they're lazy and the haulers are busy. Smooth stone walls. Here's another one that's a very good mod I like. Just in a little addition. The walls, when you dig out an area, when you mine out an area, the walls are rough. And nobody likes those rough walls. They look horrible. But I'm thinking, well, if you smooth them out, then that's better. So this mod allows you to smooth those rough walls to make them into structured walls. And a lot of the times I've had to dig out an extra area just to build a wall inside a mountain so that they can live inside that smooth walled room. Now I'll be able to just smooth those walls off instead of taking it out, making bricks and bricking it back up again. I can fix it. I can fix it as a mod that automatically replaces blueprints for destroyed buildings. So if someone comes along and knocks down a wall or knocks down a door or anything like that, a blueprint is placed, and as first chance they get, a fixer comes along and replaces the door or replaces the wall, so I don't have to keep doing it myself. In other words, a little annoying feature. Rim fridge. Rim fridge requires some heat, but there are normally problems with doing a whole room with a cold storage. A cold room with vents and all that kind of stuff is okay, but why not just put the power into one of the fridges that is left lying around after the apocalypse and turn the fridge into a fridge instead of a room into a fridge? It just makes sense. It just makes sense. So I've got the Rim Fridge mod in there. I think I still need to do some research for it to be able to work. Water power. Something that I think has been missing. We've got wind power, we've got combustible power, and we've got solar power. But no water power. And now the rivers and roads of Alpha 17 has come into Rimworld. Adapting to using that water for power is what this mod's all about, and it looks pretty cool, so I'm going to be using that a little bit as well. Building bridges. Again, because the water's come into things now, we've got basic bridges. There are wooden bridges, there are also like little subtle areas, piers and fishing spots and all that kind of stuff is pretty cool. More furniture, just some more interesting things, new tables, counters, end tables, dressers, plant pots, chairs and more. Different things that we'll experiment with, including like counters for the kitchens, which is cool, and corner sofas and things like that, which is cool. Mending. Repairing the durability of items or just recycling them. It's just as simple as that. Having a method for mending stuff, because in the zombie apocalypse you may have to take the dead man's clothes and mend them up and sort them out. Colony leadership. Now, I haven't messed around with this one too much, but there is a diplomatic or a dictatorship leadership for the colonies, and they will vote on them and elect specialist leaders for different things and teach others skills and stuff like that. So that might be fairly fun going forward over the long term, seeing how our characters develop. Round tables, simple mod, very simple mod. A 1x1, a 2x2 or a 3x3 round table. They still take up a square space, but they look round. It's that simple. It's kind of cool that something simple like that has made it in as a mod. Nice. Facial stuff. This looks like just one of those fun mods. I don't think it does anything in particular, but it adds different hair and makeup and things and bits and pieces, glasses and various facial things. 30 plus different beards and stuff, different hair and all that kind of stuff. More realistic looking pawns would be achievable, I guess. They've got different hats and things in here as well. I don't know how exactly it all works. We shall see. Added vanilla hairstyles with 10 steps of hair loss as well. Also, hair is merged with the head graphic, thus visible with worn hats. So hats and hair are visible at the same time in some cases. I think it's just a cool little addition to add a little bit more character to the playthrough. The Artie's Weapons mod. This is a series of craftable and tradable weapons that are not normally in Rimworld, but are very similar to real-world weapons. And I figured as the zombie apocalypse, everybody would be picking up weapons. We should have that in the mod pack. Fences and floors. A very simple addition. Again, instead of just having walls available to you and nothing else, we can have fences. High steel fences, chain link fences, high security fences, security barriers, sensor panels, different floors, types, all sorts of cool stuff. Roof support is another one. Instead of leaving just one full block of something to allow you to support the roof, this has got several different material types of roof supports. A pole you put in the middle of the room to allow the support of the roof above so things don't fall down on you. Hand me that brick. Colonists assigned to hauling deliver resources to the blueprints and construction frames. Haulers won't actively construct if they are not assigned to construction, which means the constructing builder can wander around from one build site to the next, building stuff faster because the haulers are putting all the materials in the right places for him, which would be great as well. It's always bugged me a little bit about how long it takes for the constructor to run backwards and forwards with materials. Fish industry. This mod is great. It allows a chance for you to go and have one of your guys just go and fish for fish in the rivers and water sources, and then cook them. Instead of hunting and growing food, you can fish for the food. Very simple, but very cool and simple. Weapons crafting. There's a lot of different weapons in Rimworld, and you can now craft them in a crafting bench. It's kind of like recycling, I would see. You take lots of spare parts and bits and pieces and you put them all together to make different items from various large amounts of materials, still all the same. But being able to craft them without needing any electric is another thing, just because it's adapting what's available and repairing stuff, I feel, for the zombie apocalypse. Embrasures, another thing. Just having a hole in the wall for you to stick the end of your rifle through and shoot things. Just that simple. Being protected by a wall but allowing you to shoot through the window. Just that. That is it. That's just something that should be there. It gives 75% cover. And they also have some reinforced and fireproof research. Reinforced to prevent it from taking lots of extra damage. But really, it's just that simple. It should be a standard. And then I also have a little bit of annoyance with all the different types of leathers. You can kill all sorts of different animals and get their leathers, and you have to stack them all separately. This allows us to stack leathers of the same kind of quality. Even though there might be 10 different types of animals with a tier 1 quality, the tier 1 leather all stacks together in your storage instead of needing 10 different stockpiles for those 1 bit of this and 2 bits of that and 3 bits left over of the other. It all stacks in 1 stack per tier of leather, which is quite cool. That is the list of mods. I'm quite pleased with the list of mods. Next up, we're going to set out our new colony. The new colony, we can go with either the crash-landed 3 people with high tech, but we don't want that. We can go with the Lost Tribe, which is 5 people, pretty much no tech. It starts poor and researches slowly, but it does allow me to get used to a lot of the early game mods and get an area set up while researching other more high-tech stuff. That's the way we're going to go. The final option would have been a rich explorer. 1 person, lots of gold, gun turrets research, all sorts of cool stuff that they can set up on their own and try and force their way or keep themselves alive throughout it. What we're going to do is we're going to do a Lost Tribe in the zombie apocalypse and try that. I've tried a few of these different ones in previous playthroughs on the Supporters Club channel. Classic Cassandra was my first, and I tried some challenge, and within a couple of episodes died. Randy Random, I tried some challenge on Randy Random and actually survived the longest, like 5 or 6 episodes, but the really big bad guys came down really quick and just put an end to that series. That was the most recent series. And I've also been playing a lot of chillaxing base building style, just to get a load of bits and pieces done, and just practice and just play. It doesn't give you too many challenges at the start, so I want to build the colony with a taste of danger. That's what it shows here as a base builder. Occasionally things will happen, such as the zombies will come and all that kind of stuff, and as we get set up, I think I will increase the difficulty of Phoebe Chillax. But for this series, I want to be on the chillaxing version. I want to mess around with some of the mods. I want to try and have a long series of developing other characters. I'm going to use the World Seed of Nemgo after the Patreons, and I will generate such, and we'll see where we could start on this. The map's now generating Alpha 17, which gives us rivers and roadways and dirt paths and things like that that intersect different villages. It's a very cool world generation now. You can see all of these extra little details of roadways and things that are coming around. Let's scroll around a little bit, find somewhere. So the zombie apocalypse has hit the whole world. There's no getting away from the zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse is everywhere. But finding a nice place to live, now that could be very difficult. There's some terrain that I really don't like, and there's some terrain that I kind of love. I kind of love some of the terrain. I would like a river for definite. I really want a river side area. And it would be good if I had a road going through it, maybe even a crossroads, which means that it's a kind of a public area. Many people go there. But a river with a road over it would be suffice. In a mountain would be even better. And I don't see anything right now. Let me have a look over this way. There's not so many bad guys over this side. There's a few bad factions over here, but there's not so many down here. I still can't see anything that I like. I still can't see anything that I like the look of. We could check out over here. This has got some more bad guys though. More baddies over that side. And this way, there's a lot of interactions going on over here. There's lots of different plots of places over here. Not sure. Let's have a look back down this corner. This corner seems to be the safest area, and I think that this looks like a decent place because it's got a road going through with a river, and it's arid shrubland, growing period all year round, There's a dirt road and a river creek. That should be good. We should be able to do quite a bit on there. Should be interesting. Or I could have a bit more of a highway. I think with a little bit of a mountainous area, I should have a little bit of rock to play in as well. That might work. And any other options before we take that particular run? A lot of other places have already picked up some good places themselves. So there's a lot of good places already taken. I can't see anything that I would say is better. I can't see anything that I would expect to be better that isn't already taken. So yeah, I think we'll go with that one. I think we'll go with that space just there. It's not quite on a main road, but it's off a main road. Looks okay. We'll try that. Now we get to see how the characters are that we want to sort out. I'm going to have a quick flick through and see what we get. And so, I've finished editing our tribe. And our tribe for this modded setup is going to be Chief Bringer. Chief Bringer is 52. He's quite good at shooting, and he's got a joy of shooting. But he's very good at social, negotiating, convincing and manipulating and leading and cheering others up. Should be good. He's also quite good mining and researcher. Good. Incapable of nothing, we like to see. His friend, the Doctor, is okay at shooting, has a passion for it. I'm hoping that everybody has a good shooting stat. There's only this one that doesn't have a shooting stat, to be fair. I'm trying to get them all a good shooting stat. The Dr. Bascula, or Dr. Busto, is very good with medicine. He's a strong expert. And also has passion for constructing things and likes shooting stuff. He's also got a bit of a crafting skill, which is nice. The Loner, Tarsa, is very good at shooting again, but also is a farmer. Very good at growing stuff and also crafting. When he's not growing, he's crafting. He also has a green thumb, which gives him +2 mood bonus for every plant he sows. Passion for gardening, quite good. And Green the Digger is very good at construction and mining, and also tending to the animals. He likes the animals, so taming and controlling those animals that are going to be fetching and carrying and hauling for him to do the construction. Take away all the mining goods. He'll have then animals taking away the mining goods as he mines them. He'll have animals bringing him materials when he's constructing things. That's my theory anyway. So he'll be good with the animals. That should hopefully work. Big old Green looking after the animals' workers. He's kind and nervous and psychically deaf, which is good, I guess. But he does tend to crack under pressure. So let's hope that all the mining and looking after animals and construction keeps his joy up nicely. And finally, we have Camber. Camber is good at shooting, looks a bit like Jesus, is good at construction, has burning passions for quite a few things, growing, constructing, and medicine. So there's a few things there that Camber will be doing lots and lots of. Construction and growing in particular, we should see him doing lots of stuff. He's just incapable of social, but that's okay, because the Chief will do that. He's steadfast, his mental break threshold is very little, he's a jogger, he moves a little bit faster than everybody else, and he's a careful shooter, which is good. Alright, so that's our tribe of 5, but you can tune in the next episode to find out what that is going to be. Episode 1 is linked on the screen now, and you'll be able to find out where we go from here. Thank you very, very much for watching today's episode, the setup of my modded Rimworld Walking Dead scenario. I will see you in the next episode very soon. Goodbye.